Hello, hello, hello. This is Helen Thomas and the CDFM study group. Welcome. All right, we are continuing review of CDFM Module 4, Competency 5, Human Systems Engineering. So from the last video, we were talking about the sustainment plan for that aircraft. I'm going to use the aircraft throughout as our example. And so human systems integration now is going to look at the considerations and things that the program manager has to think about before you put that soldier, that warfighter, that airman into that aircraft. What are the considerations? What are the safety, security considerations that must be considered before that individual is placed in that aircraft? All right. I'm trying to read and do this, so excuse me. All right, so let's look at chapter 5, which is module 4, competency 5, human systems integration. So first paragraph, introduction says, in the middle of that paragraph, the definition. You always want to read, again, this particular module is more direct in the questions that you will be asked on the exam. So the program manager should use the elements of human systems engineering or integration to, it's integration, I don't know why I keep saying engineering, to design and develop systems that effectively and affordably integrate with human capabilities and limitations. The HSI planning is summarized in the acquisition strategy and the systems engineering plan. Don't forget, a SEP is done, milestone A, but it's also done at milestone B. Milestone B is where the acquisition strategy begins. So most of these things occur starting at milestone B. So HSI is a part in the acquisition strategy. Page 452, human system, they gave you some domains. So different domains, meaning the different areas of human systems engineering or integration that they look at. Manpower, what type of MOS, what's job tasks, what they're gonna have to do, operations and maintenance rates, personnel. So with personnel, I'm looking at what are the qualifications necessary. And they mentioned the target audience description, the TAD, which identifies the physical, cognitive capabilities. So like you're doing a job description basically is what's done, what type of personnel, what type of training they need. So this stuff is like, okay, makes sense, common sense, right? Of if I'm having this aircraft, okay, what capabilities or what qualification does the pilot need to have? Does his co-pilot and those that support that aircraft? On page 453 at the top, they talk about that embedded training again. You want to, when you put it in operation, the training is part of actually operating that equipment. Simulators are good, but again, there's a difference when you actually take that equipment into operation. So both the sponsor and the program manager should give careful consideration and priority to the use of embedded training. I told you it's mentioned several times. So anytime you say, what type of training is the best? Embedded training, as defined in DoD Directive 1322.18. So it tells you it's built into or plugged into the operational part. Definitely at the bottom of page 453, environmental safety consideration. If you're going to put a human being in the aircraft, I better make sure I'm start to think of some of the safety considerations that's involved. So it makes sense that safety is part of it. The top of page 454 talks about the additional domains of your environment, safety, and occupational health. Habitability is an important one. Those living and working conditions that are necessary to sustain. If it's too hot, too cold, not enough oxygen, You know, there are different things you got to think about. Can that human being survive in this aircraft? Habitability. So those are all the different domains that you need to review. Then on page 455, Human Factors Engineering and Integration, it looks at that program manager employs the human factors engineering to design systems that require minimal manpower. So the least amount of human being necessary to be in that aircraft. We don't want where you have to have a full crew and all these equipment making the aircraft heavy and all of that. We want to think about suitability, survivability in that equipment. So put less people on the aircraft. General guidelines for the application of this human factors engineering analysis, starting with the mission analysis, design, development, test and evaluation. These are all terms we've already discussed. Life cycle sustainment and acquisition strategy, already talked about, just meaning that when you're going through all those stages, another topic that is discussed is human systems integration. 457 repeats again, the program manager in that integration should integrate the system requirements for the 8 HSI domains. So the ones that were mentioned earlier, there were 8 of them, 8 domains that must be considered. The program manager should have a plan for HSI in place prior to entering EMD phase, which is done. So that means they have to have it. So when the Milestone Decision Authority approves the initiation, they also have systems engineering or integration plan involved. So 459, again, module 4, read all the summaries because that's all the important things in that section. The key to a successful HSI strategy is integration in the whole development process. Efforts involve integrated product and process development and integrated product teams, risk mitigation, safety, security, all of that. HSI plan must be summarized in the acquisition strategy and the SEP, and the program manager should have an overall HSI plan in place. All right, real simple. Human systems integration into our acquisition program. All right, this concludes CDFM Module 4, Competency 5, Human Systems Integration. And if you have not already subscribed to our YouTube page, please, sir, please, ma'am, please subscribe. Click that subscribe button and click that little button at the top that says notification. So whenever I upload these videos, you will get an email that says, hey, Helen has uploaded CDFM material. So you can go and you can get the most up to date. Every year I start over, even though it's the same study guide, I start over the videos because sometimes I catch something I didn't catch the following year. So you'll consistently see new videos and products that come up for me. All right. This is Helen Thomas and the CDFM study group. I'll see you guys again next time. Thank you.